say that they are reserving the last best for the last, but I'm here to disappoint you. I'm here to disappoint you. I am not a good public speaker like the speakers before me. So what I lack in public speaking, I will try to make up with content. So let me see. I will therefore be relying on my digitally transformed friend, my friend the laptop, to help me with my presentation. So, okay, what am I doing? Let me see. I go to my presenter view. It's not showing. Let's see whether transformation stuff that sometimes we take. Okay, thank you everyone. So this will be the last presentation. Okay. So this the last presentation on metrology today. The last hard sell presentation be about what is in store for the National Metrology Laboratory according to the proposed bill. So just to set the proper tone for this presentation, let me just backtrack a little bit and ask the following questions. So why an act for modernizing the national measurement system of the Philippines is being proposed? Why is there a need to transform the present National Metrology Laboratory into the NMI of the Philippines? Why is the revision of the National Metrology Act of 2003 needed? And what is planned for the modernization of the National Metrology System? So to answer these questions, we first ask what metrology is in the first place. We have already heard from previous presentations this morning and early this afternoon that metrology is the science of measurement. But what really is metrology? Why is it important, and why is accurate measurement? Why are accurate measurements important? So measurements have always been important. The Bible tells us of having just weights and measures and practicing honest measurements. So these Bible verses are all talking about one important application of modern metrology, and that is field change. So these field changes are not only true during the biblical times, but also up to the present. In the early days during the construction of the pyramids, the importance of having a uniform unit of length was so important that the equivalent of the engineers had to have their rulers calibrated every full moon. And the punishment for failure to do so was death. So in today's equivalent, having an instrument that is not calibrated is a heinous crime to deserve the death penalty. So you see, metrology was really a serious business then, as it is now. Now let's go fast forward to the present times. Luckily is banned in Europe because of trace amounts of pesticide, ethylene oxide in the said product. The maximum limit of ethylene oxide is only 0.1 milligram per kilogram. It's just like looking for the quarter grain of rice in a 50 kilogram sack. So, itatanong nyo, nasusukat pa ba yan? No? Because it's still measurable. So this is an example of a modern day problem that food manufacturers have to face every day, and that is measuring trace amount of contaminants in food. So lucky me is indeed lucky, talagang maswerte ang lucky me. Because local laboratories were able to measure these contaminants, and that the results accrue with the European laboratories. Paano yung lang kung hindi? And that is the case now that we have Valdes. Colonel Busita, a motorcycle rider safety advocate, now a party list representative, advises truck drivers that use the index coming from the north voluntarily have their trucks weighed at the Balagtas and not at the Bukawe weighing station. Bakit kaya? Because the weighing results from the two weighing stations differ significantly. The drivers have been apprehended for overloading at the Bukawe station, even if the Balagtas station results state otherwise. So from last we heard, Congressman Busita is now coordinating with the LTO and with the index authorities to help settle this issue. A different but similar situation was experienced by this vehicle owner. Bakit na lang daw sila maraming bagsak sa anti-smoke belching unit ng LGU? Pero pumapasok naman daw sila sa LTO pagdating sa smoke test. So is this another measurement gone wrong? Ano kaya ang nangyari? Was the smoke emission testing machine used calibrated? Is the operator of the testing machine trained and qualified to perform the measurements? Is the LGU and the LTO implementing the same regulation differently? So this scenario falls under the scope of legal metrology, and it seems to point out a system that is fragmented and uncoordinated. Just last year, July, the Philippine Ports Authority started implementing the International Convention for Safety of Life at Sea. This required that shippers declare to the port operator the verified gross mass, or BGM, of a packed container before it's loaded into a vessel. That meant that no container will be loaded into the vessel without a BGM. Now, field export members, however, are complaining of discrepancies between the exporter's weighing scales and the weighing scales of the port operator. And this has now led to penalties to exporters for the cargo being left in the port without being shipped. So now field export claims that these are still added costs to business, to doing business, for MSMEs who are still struggling to recover from the pandemic. At naalala niyo pa ba, ang NCAP, no contact apprehension policy. And did you know that NCAP is a traffic safety and traffic management system that falls under the scope of legal metrology because it is used in law enforcement? And did you also know that such traffic system should pass a rigid type approval process to ensure that it maintains its measuring characteristics under extreme conditions of use and time? It's just fortunate that the system provider, CQPAX, has exercised due diligence by coordinating with us at the National Metrology Laboratory for any legal metrology requirements before the use of their system in the country. So that we at the National Metrology Laboratory review the test results and the type approval certificate of the system to determine whether they comply with applicable recommendations of the International Organization for Legal Metrology. So, as mentioned maybe several times during the day, the local metrology is not all that bad, that green. We have also some good news to share with you. Shimatsu Philippines, a Japanese company, is a manufacturer of weighing scales that export to countries like Japan, Brazil, China, Germany, and Singapore. Shimatsu, she used to send their standards, elevation standards, back to Japan on a monthly basis. Pero nung nalaman nila that we at the National Metrology Laboratory have already obtained ISO 17025 accreditation for its calibration services, ibig sabihin nun that we can already provide competent measurement services that are internationally recognized, they now send their calibration standards to us at the National Metrology Laboratory. And Shimatsu says that it has resulted in an initial cost savings of around 2 million pesos per year that it was able to share with its employees. So ayaw ni ba to strengthen also the NML so that it would also help other companies increase their exports. So do you still want to know what metrology is? So for example, you have your cholesterol tested and you find out that your results is borderline, meaning it's slightly over the limit. Now your doctor is in a quandary now whether to prescribe statin medication to lower your cholesterol level, knowing that it has some possible side effects on your liver. In metrology, there is a risk of calling a measurement result in or out of tolerance when it really is not. So metrology also is concerned with interpretation of measurement results to minimize, for example, the risk of a doctor misdiagnosing a disease in a patient not receiving the proper treatment. So, palagi ko naman ngayon, you already have a good idea of what metrology is, and you are convinced that why it is important for you, for me, and for everyone. Now, who is supposed to be on top of metrology issues in the country? Who is supposed to take care of providing the measurement needs of the country? Who is the qualified authority in metrology? So let's go back to the previous scenarios given earlier. In other words, who does Lucky Me turn to provide internationally recognized reference for ethylene oxide? Who do the drivers, the index drivers, and the index go to for the overloading differences? Who is expected to settle the exporters' weight claims against the opposing claims of the Philippine Port Authority? Or who do the drivers go to seek redress over the violations over their anti-smoke belching limits? In other words, who is the knowledge center of metrology that can provide guidance on proper measurement methods? In other countries and the countries around us, it is the National Metrology Institute who serves these functions and provides these services. Then who performs these functions in the Philippines? Who is the NMI of the Philippines?
NMI.
The Philippines does not have an NMI. The Philippines does not have a National Metrology Institute. It is the National Metrology Laboratory of USITI that's trying to perform this function. But the next question is it able to do it adequately? Is it able to respond to the present requirements or demands of society? So the NML is a small division of the ITBI under the UST, with 32 technical staff are expected to attend to the measurement needs of the country. In comparison, Thailand is 127, Indonesia 135, and Vietnam 90 technical staff. To support our export trade, the Philippines needs its calibration and measurement capabilities to be internationally recognized. Now, how many internationally recognized calibration measurement capabilities does the Philippines have to the NML? We have 33 calibration measurement services, which is just a total number. If we compare it to the 473 of Thailand, 155 of Malaysia. So no wonder we are lagging far behind our ASEAN neighbors in terms of exports. And how much does government spend for metrology in terms of budgetary support? In 2014, Thailand spent $7.8 million. Malaysia spent $7 million. Vietnam spent $3.8 million. And the Philippines was and still being given less than $500,000 per year. That is why last year in 2022, we could barely afford to send our standard support for recalibration because of shortage of funds. So although not named in the Metrology Law of 2003, the National Metrology Laboratory has been functioning as the de facto National Metrology Institute of the Philippines. However, overseeing the entire national measurement system is just too big for a small division to handle. Its manpower, laboratory facilities, and financial resources are very limited to meet the metrology requirements of the country. What the country needs is a central body with functions that are responsive to the needs of the time. So while present legislation recognizes the tasks of would-be NMI, it does not specifically identify who the dual entity is. So to establish and to sustain the National Metrology Institute, its legal status and its mandate must be well defined. And this is best achieved by enacting legislation that's promulgated by the highest legislative body. So with the foregoing premises, I hope you have answered the questions. Why is the revision of the National Metrology Act of 2003 needed? Why is there a need to transform the present National Metrology Laboratory into the National Metrology Institute of the Philippines? And it is only at this point where I can start talking about what is planned for the modernization of the National Metrology System. So with your help and support, we start with proposing the revision of the National Metrology Act of 2003 and start transforming the present National Metrology Laboratory into the National Metrology Institute of the Philippines. So the National Metrology Laboratory of the USITI will be transformed into an institute and to be recognized as the National Metrology Institute of the Philippines. It will be known as the National Measurement Institute of the Philippines, or NMI Phil. The NMI Phil will be an attached agency of the UST for policy and program coordination and administrative supervision. The NMI Phil will be headed by an executive director, equivalent under secretary, who will be assisted by 3 deputy directors, one for scientific metrology, another one for legal metrology, and another for quality management, finance, and administration. So the organizational structure of the NMI field We'll cover measurement fields and areas of concerns, as you can see here now. So the main laboratories of the NML field is proposed to be located at the outskirts of the National Government Administrative Center in the new Clark City in Capacitablac. I say outskirts so that it will be away from the heavy vehicular traffic that could cause disturbance to the light vibrations, the very sensitive work being performed at the NMI field. So the Basis Conversion and Development Authority of UCDA will be asked to provide at least 30 hectares to be used exclusively for NMI field, offices, and laboratory facilities. As part of the Modernization Trust bill, the NMI field will enhance and expand its capability in terms of scope of measurement fields, measurement range, and accuracy. During the modernization period, the NMI field will be acquiring state-of-the-art equipment and quantum-based standards in keeping with its role as the country's top provider of measurement standards and services. The NMI field will also be embarking on a continuing human resources development program that will recruit and maintain a team of highly proficient personnel specializing on different fields of metrology. Scholarships and financial grants, mainly from the Science Education Institute of UST, will be provided for undergraduate, MS, and PhD degree studies in metrology and related fields, as well as for specialized training programs. These core highly trained and qualified personnel are needed because they will be the ones that are going to operate the highly technical and specialized instruments and equipment acquired through the modernization program. The Capacity Enhancement Fund will be established to fund the capacity and capability build-up and enhancement of the NMI field. There will be a 6 billion peso fund to be taken from the share of the national government in the gross income of PAGCOR. This fund will be released to NMI field in more or less equal amounts over a 10-year period from the start of the activity of the act. The amount will be used mainly for the construction of facilities, purchase of measurement standards and equipment, and also for metrology research and development. And when the PAGCOR funds have been used up, NML field will use 8% of its income derived from fees, services, and products. This use of income will be primarily intended for the upkeep and maintenance of measurement standards, facilities, among others. And while the existing NML of the OSKI transitions itself to becoming the NML field, the amount necessary to carry out its operations will still be coming from the appropriations of the OSKI. But thereafter, the NMI field will have its own budget included in the General Appropriations Act. So in summary and in conclusion, the plan to establish the National Metrology Institute of the Philippines will consist of the following. 1. Defining the legal status and mandate of the NMI field through legislation. Second, the development of a campus for the construction and accommodation of laboratory facilities and offices. Third, the recruitment and the hiring of technical and administrative professionals to operate and manage the institute. Fourth, the development of technical staff for training and graduate educational programs. Fifth, the acquisition of necessary equipment and measurement standards to support the Institute's activities. Sixth, the development of measurement services and products that meet the needs of industry, government, and the general public. Seven, the operation of the quality management system and the international recognition of its services and products through accreditation and participation in global mutual recognition agreements. And finally the provision of the required measurement services to the public. So, from the National Metrology Laboratory and hopefully the future National Measurement Institute of the Philippines, I thank you all for your kind attention. And we look forward to your support and passage of this bill in the 19th Congress.
Thank you.